Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's Global Domination. I'm excited to say that we have Anthony Reddington here today, who's been in the real estate business since 2016. But I have to say, you from day one set the real estate industry on fire. You didn't even delay, you just jumped right in. And I know we're going to dive in deep and tell that story, but what impresses me so much is you did it while being a stay-at-home dad. And it's like, how in the world did you jump into real estate and become so successful doing the volume that you're doing tied to the house pretty much, right?
Yeah. So first for praises to my wife for supporting me.
That's a great thing to have. Yeah.
But feast or famine, right? Didn't have time to fail. So, 2016 was a unique year. Switched from teaching high school to real estate. I was part of real estate really early in my life, but never realtor. And jumped both feet in and started doing some business real quick. So
how did you drive it, Anthony? I mean, going back to 2016, how were you generating leads?
So I didn't have a sphere here in Louisville. So I have no family, wasn't from here, didn't grow up. And Louisville's a very cliquey town.
From West Virginia.
I grew up in Hurricane, West Virginia, if anybody's out there from there. So there I'm from. And so we hit the ground running. Lead gen, very important. Lead follow-up was always top of mind, because if I was stuck in one place at home with the kids, I could always pick up a phone or shoot a text or, through a CRM, make messages. So that's what I did. And, first it was like one deal a month, every month. And then all of a sudden 2-3 deals a month. And then it felt very natural doing that sort of volume.
So when you go back to, the beginning of 2016 and you're working up to the one deal a month to the multiple deals a month, what did you find was your number one generator? Where were you picking up the phone calling these people? What made you reach out to them?
So I tried cold calling, wasn't excited about that, but I hate to say it, but I was a Zillow Premier agent for quite some time. And, but I was number one in this zip code just south of Louisville that nobody else wanted. And I was getting 10 to 15 leads a month, and I was converting at like a 30 to 40% rate.
That's great. That's great.
So,
I mean,
that was great.
I think that's because, people will ask, I've been in the business 25 years, and they'll ask, are you a fan of buying leads? And I personally am not, because I'm not great at working those style of leads. And I think you have to have that special gift. There's a lot of people very successful at buying those leads, but if you don't know how to convert them, it's a waste of money. And so you obviously learned how to convert them early on.
Yeah. So if you don't pick up the phone and you call these leads, you're just paying for nothing. And I didn't have the money to waste, pretty much how it was. So, but I've gone away from that about 3-4 years ago, and we're totally almost referral based at this point.
Okay.
So almost
that's great.
Fully referral based. And then of course, Google.
Anthony, where did you start your career in real estate?
So I was a Keller Williams baby here in Louisville. I was the rookie of the year solo agent of that office. And when I was there for about a year and a half. And then I got with a team that became a boutique brokerage, but that team said, hey, we can't do what we want to do here at Keller Williams. Come with us to EXP. So I came over to EXP, and because I was in this little group, I didn't learn anything about EXP. They were foreign to me, didn't care. And then that little team grew, and they became their own brokerage. Then I left EXP. So I left for a few years, and then I basically figured out a lot of things. And then I came back about 2 years ago, back to EXP. So that's pretty much the nitty gritty of the career and the path I took.
Well, and coming back to EXP, being a solo agent, because you had left the team, back to being a solo agent, you iconed in that very first year. I think within 7 or 8 months, you hit icon status. And for those of you that don't know that means that he met his cap, of the 16,000, and then he closed 20 more deals or hit 500,000 in gross commission income, which when we icon at EXP, it's phenomenal because we get our entire cap, 16 grand, back in stock.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about, when you left the team where you were extremely successful, you left the team, you came back to EXP, you became a solo agent. How was your lead generation different than what it was back in 2016?
So my lead generation now is purely referral, and most of it actually comes through the EXP network.
That's amazing.
We're 89,000 plus agents worldwide. We have our workbook page that we all communicate on. So it's no longer, if you for that Keller Williams office, for instance, that Keller Williams office didn't talk to the other Keller Williams office, right? So you only need like the 200 people that were there. But now I know 89,000 agents plus, and they are looking for highly productive agents in different areas. And when they, call Louisville's number, I can hop on the phone real quick and hopefully earn that business.
That's right. Well, and that's what I love about what you just said, because a lot of people don't realize that, they could be affiliated with a national or global brand, but you're right. They're only talking to the 100 or 200 or 300 agents in their office. And the big difference there is that all those people are falling all over themselves competing for the exact same business.
Yeah. Oh.
Whereas at EXP, we have 90,000 opportunities of real estate agents scattered across the United States in 24 different countries that all you got to do is plug in, be coherent on the workplace page, and grab those opportunities. And so on average, what are you closing each month on referral business alone from other EXP business?
This year, I'm averaging about 2 closings a month right now, just from referrals from other EXP agents. So
that's amazing.
About 24 closings this year.
That is amazing.
I'm sorry, I don't have that dollar amount, but I love that you said the word compete, because little quick story was when I was at Keller Williams and I was doing Premier Agent, my mentor at the time brings me in the office. Hey, Anthony, you're doing great. Tell me everything that you're doing. So I spill everything that I'm doing. I'm sharing all my nuggets, everything that I'm doing. And literally the next week, he has bought me out of my zip code on Zillow. And took away that business from me. I couldn't believe it. My mentor. So,
whoa.
And what I really like about EXP is the fact that we're all owners. Your success is my success. And I cannot get over that I love hopping on calls just like this. And then other people call me and we talk about business and how to, because honestly, you're not going to outwork me, right? You're not going to outwork me. You can try. And I really appreciate if you do, let's go, I'll take you out to lunch because I like to know how you're doing it. But just being successful in the community, everybody is willing to give you information, and they're not just giving you partial information and then you got to go figure it out by yourself. So that's what I really like about EXP2 is we're all in this together, and it doesn't feel like I'm really competing against anybody.
Right. And there's no fear factor there about sharing your playbook, right? We're talking about now, we're working on planning this massive event come 2024 to open up all of our playbooks to share, with all of our up and coming agents. I don't care if they've been in the business 2 months or if they've been in the business 12 years. If they're looking to scale their business, that's exactly what we do every single day inside of EXP is open our playbooks. And we at EXP are compensated based on the fact that we share our playbooks, right? And that makes all the difference in the world. We're not breeding, we do breed new talent in our own backyard. We're fine with that. You've done a tremendous job at that, building your team, which I love this because 2 years ago, you were a solo agent, top producer in the top 10% of production, all at EXP Realty across the entire United States. And today you're leading a team of how many people?
We have 24, and we should be up to actually 30 by next week if people would accept their invites to the team. They're always slow on that. But our team is built differently than other teams because EXP has allowed us to do so. So, and of course you can Google all this information because EXP being a public traded company, you can Google this, but they have 4 different types of teams for EXP, and we are under what they call a self-organized team. And instead of and this is what my big kicker was leaving my boutique brokerage was, at the end of the day, team leaders and boutique broker owners, they're looking out for their bottom line, their business, their family, their money. They're not looking out for me. I have my own business. So what happened was, at this boutique brokerage, I didn't have a cap. It was 80-20 split, everything I did. And I sat down and I was like, wow, I'm paying loads amount of money, to a point where 4 years with this boutique brokerage will take me over 27 years of Icon to pay that money to a brokerage again. So at the end of the day, I was like, well, am I loyal to this guy, which he's a fantastic guy, or am I loyal to my family and my dollar? And I need it. So since I've been back just the 2 years with Icon and our split and how everything works, I've put an extra 6 figures in my pocket.
Exactly.
So that I would have paid out.
And that's what a lot of people, we're in the business of real estate. People, clients, customers come to us to help them make those fiduciary decisions, because everything's based around the finances, right? Am I paying too much for a house? What's it worth? Or if it's commercial property, the investment, whatever the case might be, it's all about the numbers, right? It boils down to that. But we speak to so many real estate agents across this industry who don't put the analysis on their own career. And it's shocking. And, it took you a minute, but as soon as it clicked with you, like you said, you made the fiduciary decision that best suits you and your family, because that's who you owe your career. That's why we get up and work. We're not just doing this for fun. We're doing this to earn a living and to be able to take care of those we love. And so it's shocking that a lot of people don't assess it in that manner when they should. And, I think that's how I feel a lot of times when I do have those conversations with agents at other firms. There's a lot of great real estate brokerages out there, right? They offer training, they're providing some set of tools. But the truth of the matter is if I am not gaining wealth that enables me to live a comfortable life and not be prisoner to my business, I got to look for something better. And I think that's exactly what we all end up seeing once we've made that switch to EXP.
It is. And people get stuck on loyalty a lot. That's the number one thing I hear from a lot of people is like, I'm loyal. They gave me my shot. They helped me get my license. They helped me get started. I built this business with their help. That's great. But at the end of the day, if I'm splitting a 50-50 commission with somebody, you better have paid for the lead, got them pre-approved and sent them my way afterwards,
Yeah.
And then when you start looking at the numbers and you're like, because a lot of people are scared. They're like, well, if I don't have this help and support, and then they're like, ooh, EXP is virtual. Do I have that support? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I could share my screen, hop into the world, and I could be in front of my broker in less than 3 minutes. Yeah. And they would be like, do you need help? Or of the 200 plus corporate employees, if I have a problem with the transaction.
Yeah.
I don't have to wait on hold. I'll go into the world and we're right there. So the support and culture I don't think is talked enough about with EXP. I feel more connected to EXP and the thousands of agents than I ever did with the 10 agents at this boutique brokerage.
That's right.
Because I talk with many people across the spectrum daily about their business, what they're doing, and how they're using the tools that EXP can give you. And that can be scary too, because when you join EXP and you're onboarding and you see that email and you got a list of like all this stuff thrown at you, you get really overwhelmed because there's a lot of stuff.
It is a lot.
And you're changing already, so you're stressed out. So just breathing and learning everything that EXP has to offer, you'll realize that you can cut out a lot of costs that you probably would have paid for, because they nickel and dime us in this industry on every little thing. But if you just use the tools that they give us, going to help you in the long run.
That's right. That's right. Well, and two, you going back to you spending the money on being a Zillow Premier agent, and the last, several years you haven't done that. And so just right there alone, you've put X amount of dollars back into your pocket. However, you're earning more money now than you were back then. And you're being able, to utilize CRM tools and websites and lead generation. And we haven't even touched on, we've touched on the referrals that come from other agents within EXP, but you've taken great advantage of the referral program and network that takes place at the EXP corporate level as well, too.
Yes, get involved with the other agents. That's why you go to events. That's why you network. That's why you make friends. Is all that. If you're on here, you should Google me. Google my name, Anthony Reddington, Louisville, Kentucky realtor. Help my keywords. Look at my profile, my Google profile. Leave a 5-star review. I appreciate it. But all that leads into, because these people, when you talk to them, especially the high producers and the high earner teams that keep coming to EXP, when you get in front of those leaders like that, they're going to educate themselves on you, because they're not going to send you stuff, or they're not going to send you clients if they think you're mediocre.
Right.
You better have everything in line. So, we got the KV Core, our CRM here, but we also get the website. And a lot of agents don't take advantage of this website. Click on the website, guys. You'll see mine, and then just Google EXP Realtors, and then click on a couple others and see the difference. This also goes back to the amount of training that you can take advantage of. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I think there's 80 hours of live training a week with EXP now. And if you take advantage of just half of that, that's a full-time job.
No joke. Yeah.
And what's the old saying? More you learn, more you earn.
The more you learn, the more you earn. It's exactly right. Well, and that's the thing. I mean,
pitchy as I get, guys, sorry.
but look, 25 years in the business, I'm still learning every single day. That's how we evolve. That's how we become agile. That's how we stay relevant. That's how we stay needed, by our clients. I mean, we're in a different market right now with different things happening in the industry. And in order for you to prove your value, you need access to tools, access to trainings, access to people who are smarter than you. I mean, that's me. I want to be the dumbest person in the room, because that's how I learn the most.
That's true.
It's true.
That's absolutely true.
And here we have that opportunity. It doesn't take long to become the superstar in a 4-brick wall office. Doesn't take long, right? Because you're only around those people. You only know how to get better than that guy or that gal. But at EXP, there's a whole different amount of talent. I'd never known people that sold 1,000 homes a year until I joined EXP, right?
You get humbled really quick when you go to the leaderboard. And I'm not one that likes to stare at the leaderboard. I don't have it posted anywhere, but you get humbled really quick when you go to the leaderboard and you're like, wait a second, what are they doing?
Yeah.
And then you have access to those people, and you message them, and they'll message you back. And like I said,
they'll share their playbook.
They'll share it. They're like, hey, I'm doing this mastermind this day. Come, this is what we're talking about. And you're like, absolutely. So
I love it.
Especially heading into next year, it's going to be a very interesting year. So
it is. It's
very hard to know, but it will be a very interesting year.
It will, and interest rates have been what they are, right? But this is the time of opportunity. This is the time for people to realize that you don't necessarily, you might be a person that wants to do more business, which means more transactions, or it could mean you want to make more money, but that doesn't necessarily have to mean you got to do more sales, right? Yeah. And that's what I like learning, at EXP, because not only are people sharing with us their playbook on how they've built a team or how they've gotten to, solo agents that are doing 600 deals a year. They're not only sharing that with us, but they're also sharing with us their business model as to how, the money works. How much do they need to spend on marketing? How much do you need to put aside? There's a lot more to it than just saying, get on TikTok and start posting these types of videos, right? You still got to know what to do with those leads that are coming in and how properly to work them.
Yeah, I think that's honestly is where the opportunity is going to lie coming next year, is how well can you work your database? Because people that work their database, you ask any top producer, they'll talk about their database for hours. Probably more so than you want to. And then you go talk to people that are not producing and you ask them about their database, and they probably don't have it in order, or they don't look at it at all. Yeah. They don't do anything with it. So I think going into next year, a lot of agents have dropped out. Like we've lost a lot of memberships to our local MLS, but I think there's more opportunity now because of that. So it's, double up on your lead gen, find a brokerage that's going to support your needs and your tools, and then surround yourself with people that are doing it, and then go to work.
Absolutely. And be open to learning, in order to grow. Sometimes that means you got to learn, in order to do the growth. We've talked a lot about all the trainings, all the masterminding, everything that's available at EXP, but you guys here locally, in Louisville, in this office that you have for your team, are doing a lot of hands-on, that in-person stuff as well too. Because, look, EXP is a virtual company, but we are still humans, and we are still in each other's, we can still be with each other in offices. There's no rule against that. And so you've done a phenomenal job building that office. So talk to us about your team members, why they're there, and what you all are teaching them.
So incredible shout out to Francisco Merla, Andy Mitri, and Maria Cruz. We basically have myself and 5 other icons, and I call ourselves an oligarchy of leadership for all our other agents on our team. But people do like in-person stuff. Virtual is great, but people do like that in-person stuff. Myself, up till last month, I had my kids all the time. Now I got 2 days a week where I can go to the office, and I like to talk because I'm having adult conversations. I'm excited about talking about real estate because, you can't talk to a 3-year-old so much about selling a house. But we have 6 fluent languages on the team. We've talked about this upcoming year, getting your database, your CRM in order, your website in order, work those. Then do your external stuff, Google, Facebook, all these social media. It's free. Mm-hmm. And I don't think any other time that you could go and reach an audience for free in the volume that you can with the digital world. So I hate my face on camera. I hate my voice. But, that is one thing that we're working on. We actually do trainings here in the office, and then we record them, and then we have them for the team, for the ones that can't make it into the office that day or something. So just doing the trainings, having them focus on building themselves is key to making sure our members are going from, hey, I'm new, to being a capper. Then, of course, our goal is to make everybody icon. Right. Because that's where you start setting yourself up for the exit strategy with EXP.
That's right. That's absolutely right. And that's how you turn your real estate business into an actual business, into an actual career. Because look, a lot of people are in real estate. They've got the license, but what they haven't done is turned it into that true business, and being able to work that business with or without you in it. And I think that's a big piece about what we all get to learn at EXP and become a part of. And who better to learn those things from than 5 icon agents. And here's something that we've touched on a couple times during this. And I know people are watching saying, wait, how does he only leave the house 2 days a week and sell $10-11 million worth of real estate each year? So let's touch on that, Anthony, because look, people in real estate, we are so good about having excuses, right? Not doing the work because we've always got an excuse. But here you are with a legitimate excuse, your children, and you're still selling $10-11 million, leaving the house 2 days a week.
I was doing, prior to coming back to EXP, I was somewhere between 4 and 7 million a year. And a lot of times, you take kids to showings and you leave them in the car. And then if it's too hot, you're like, please don't run around this vacant house. And they run around the vacant house. And then I started, my 2 oldest, 9 and 7, they're 9 and 7 now. I gave them roles to do. My oldest liked to read the MLS sheet to the client, and my middle child, she's nuts. So she'd run through the house, turn on all the lights, flip on all the water, flush all the toilets. And she's like, it's great. So we started getting in those roles. And then the littlest came along, and that came harder. So a lot of times mom comes home, I go, here are the kids, and I ran off, right? So it was very stressful, never saw each other kind of deal. So what I've done with EXP is not only with this team, is now I have a lot of agents everywhere not just in my office, but I cover a lot of area in Kentucky, and I have agents everywhere that even not on my team that I call up. I'm like, hey, I can't make it down there for this client. They like to see this house. Can I pay you a showing fee? And they're like, yeah. And I already know, because if they're with EXP, which who I track down, I look at their production before I even let them talk to one of my clients. I'm like, okay, I can see that they're a high earner. My clients are probably going to be safe with them going through this house. And that's usually how I get a lot of the business now. And now, and I should have did this a long time ago, but now I have the tools and stuff set up for the last 2 years in this team, where in 2024, the joke around the office is, my goal is I don't want to sell a house at all. I want to be 100% referral out. And that doesn't mean just in the Louisville area, but everywhere. Send my clients everywhere. I had just one client that is buying a condo in the Bahamas. Took me 2 minutes to find a qualified icon agent down there. So, and then they were on Messenger with me within it. So it's no longer calling, searching through Zillow profiles, trying to find an agent, and then calling agents. And of course, agents don't pick up their phones. Pick up your phone. Weird number, pick it up. Even if it says spam, just try it. Just taking advantage of those opportunities. So
I love, Anthony, that one, I'm proud as heck of you, because you just blow my mind. I'm so impressed with your work ethic. And, I say this all the time. I've never been the smartest real estate professional ever, right? But it's work ethic. We'll outwork, and that's how we win. And you have just, regardless of what might or may not hinder you, you always find that solution that still keeps you producing. And that's just huge. And, that's what I think people can learn the most from you, is exactly how to create a model that still earns you a living. And I'm so proud that you're saying that you're not just working on referrals for our market, right? Because when we get into real estate and we're at some of these other companies, it's hyper local. It's all about, it's just all about where we reside. It's all about what our MLS service is. For us at EXP, we see the entire globe. And hence the reason why this show is called Global Domination, because at EXP, you can achieve global domination. And I love that 2 years in, you're already achieving global domination and have built this referral business.
Yeah, it's hasn't been easy, but it's been fun. Like I said, the culture here, and that's actually probably what it goes. You can work so hard, but if you get burnt out, if you're not surrounded by people that are encouraging, you could lose your way real quick. And unfortunately, you need to find your work partner. Mine is Andy Mitri. Great guy, bless his heart. I feel bad for him having to be my friend, but he keeps me grounded. So, if you have problems, you can call these people or, hey, what do you think about this idea? Because I got a lot of dumb ideas that don't work out, but it's nice to talk through those with other agents that know what's going on. Because if I was still over at my other place, I wouldn't share any of this, because I'd be afraid
that somebody's going to run with it.
Yeah. They're going to
rip it off of you and run with it. I love that. And I respect that of all of us, that because we are one big, huge 90,000 agent family of business partners, which is a different respect level. And, just coming back to the entire, conversation of, being able to run a business the way you want to run it, you can look at some of the other opportunities that you've been, other companies and so forth. And this model you're working toward now wouldn't work as well because the access wasn't there.
Yeah. So the access isn't there. Like, people are going to flip on this. And they're like, what's your team split? 0.
Yeah.
We don't take anything from our agents because we want them to hit icon. We want them to grow. We want them to be successful. And then they're like, what is it in for you? Well, we train, we build. We have our downline that's very important, and we want our downline to be successful. And then we bring these people together to give them the opportunity that they normally would have been out on an island by themselves for. So, right. So that might blow some people's mind. We have a 22-member team, almost 30, if they would accept their invites quicker. And then we don't charge anything, and because we don't need to.
Don't need to. There's another revenue stream there that is there automatically, regardless of if they're part of the team or not. And that's what the amazing thing is to be able to experience all the different revenue streams being affiliated with EXP, but not having to pay a team leader for a spot on the team. And that's what matters right there. Yeah. Anthony, this year, I know you're going to be growing the team. What are some final words you want to say to the agent that might be watching this, that might be stuck in a rut or just lost? And what can I know what you can give them, but tell them what you can give them.
If I had to give you one nugget and you're slow and you're in a rut, this is just my bad sense of humor, but plan a vacation. Real estate gods will know that you have a vacation, and they will award you with plenty of work to do while you're on that vacation.
From a guy that's just been gone 2 weeks out of the country.
I have, and that's actually I've been out of the country, and then but I didn't have to worry about my business at all. I had people in place that were taking care of my clients, taking care of my closings, and just taking care of my business that I wouldn't have anywhere else. But if you're in a rut, you need to go back to your bases, and YouTube is a very good resource to find that. And I wouldn't look for the gurus. A lot of the gurus, they'll give you one nugget and then they'll give you a half a nugget, and then a lot of mystery, come buy our stuff, right? Yeah. I'd find the channels of and I hate just not EXP agents, but there's some other out there of the ones that are working hard and they're going, hey, I'm doing X, Y, and Z. These are my results. This is what you should be doing. And there's a lot of rewards out there if you do that. I want to do a class in the EXP world called the Stay-at-Home Icon Agent, because I love to share with everybody all the systems that it took me a long time to get in place. A lot of money lost, a lot of money earned from different trial and errors. But if I can skip if I can help somebody out not losing a lot of money like I have, trying something out, then bless their heart. Hopefully it works.
That's awesome, Anthony. Well, I'm going to encourage anybody that's watching this to reach out to Anthony. First off, he's got great advice always. Secondly, he's happy to walk you through your business plan and see what you're missing, right? Because there's so much opportunity. Don't think about falling out of the business. Think about how do you get stronger during this opportunity phase. I know people are like, what is she talking about? But when 2008, 2009 happened, I absolutely loved that market because there was so much opportunity for those of us who wanted to learn how to go work those type of clients. I think now, even if rates are high, big whoop, there's still people that have to buy and sell. You just got to get associated with the right people to help you get on that path to success.
There's one agent in our market that always says, it's always a great market if you have the right agent.
That's right.
And I believe that to be true too. So if you can go out there, do the work to get the leads, to get in front of people, earn their business. I'm sure that you could be successful enough to turn it into closings, and then double down on client relationships and build that out.
Absolutely. Anthony, thank you so much for being on the show today. Thank you for being my business partner. I absolutely love and respect everything you're doing, and I can't wait to keep watching how all of this has evolved and continues to evolve. So you're amazing.
I hope to have you on my show one day.
100%. All you got to do is start it. Let's do it. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into Global Domination. Like I said, definitely reach out to Anthony Reddington. Reach out to myself. Happy to walk anybody through these different times in real estate. Remember, they're not difficult. They're just different. So let's figure it out together, and let's see how we can help you to scale and become Global Domination. Bye, all.